Hello. Oh, fuck's sake. It's been one of them weeks. It feels like I've moved into this office. I've spent that much time in it. Anyway, thought I'd catch up with you guys, let you know a little bit of what's going on. So, a couple of new videos up on Brutal Muscle this week, by the way. One about tren and one about estrogen and AIs. Anyway, so what's happening with me? Well, I've had probably the most consistency in the gym over the last 2 weeks that I've had in probably the last year. My training partner is now gone. He's now training at home in his lovely new custom built Watson's gym. Little shit. I need to go and try out in a couple of weeks. So I've moved to a gym around the corner from me called Origins. It is literally 5 minutes up the road, and you know what? It's not a bad little gym. A couple of things aren't amazing, but it's definitely enough to get me by. And the really good thing is, got a V-lever style hack squat, which means I can do reverse style, and it doesn't aggravate my knee, so I'm actually being able to do proper legs. Still easing back in because it's been so hit and miss for so long, but the consistency's been really good. Been hitting the gym 5-6 days a week. I dropped cardio out for the first couple of weeks in the gym just to make sure I was being consistent with the weights. Now cardio's coming back in. Diet's okay, nothing wrong with that. And actually on that front, everything's hunky-dory. Slowly just creeping the weights up and bringing the intensity up, and yeah, good. Work is fucking mental, but I like to be busy. I had a bit of a disaster of a week. Turbo failed on my new car, the girly one. Turned out it wasn't. It was just a split boost pipe, but it took some finding. And ended up having to go to a specialist for them to find it, and it even took them a long time. So that put me off the road for a bit. So I just thought, you know what, I'm going to stay off the road for the rest of the month, and then I'll get back on the road next month. Had my first meeting with school. That went really well, so we're starting to prep that. And really, that is it. But it's been good. It's been nice to be sore again. In fact, my daughter's joined the gym with us, and so has my wife. So not every morning, but they come up at least 3-4 mornings a week. They do their thing, I do my thing. Headphones on, just get my head down and get on with it. And I'm really enjoying it, I must admit. The good thing as well, with it only being 5, see, one of the problems I was having was the other gym was 30 minutes drive, 30 minutes back. Both me and my training partner Dom had gone off the boil a little bit, so we were talking a little bit more than we would normally, and I sort of had to get up and go. Now, if I'm feeling a little bit not quite with it in the morning, I've got time to sit, have a coffee, get my head sorted before I go to the gym, and that's really helping be consistent. I'm tired, but I've not probably finished in this office before 9 o'clock. In fact, some nights it's been 10 and 11 o'clock all fucking week, and it hasn't helped that my wife's been doing some medic work, because she's an ex-army medic, so she's been doing some private medic work, and she's been not finishing till getting home till about 10, 11, so I've literally just been working till she gets home. But, upwards and all that crap. I would rather be busy than not. It's definitely better than sitting around and put my thumb up my arse. So, great thanks for being able to actually have the work and do it. Over news, that's it really. Health-wise, kidneys have come up by 2%. But I haven't had a renal consult for a while, but I've just been on top of my bloods. So I'll need to find out what's going on with that actually. And I've got a scan, I think, in about 2 weeks for my heart. 11th of March. But otherwise, yeah, all pretty good, really. Let's say I had a meeting with the local school about doing the harm reduction presentations. That went really well, so we're putting together a freebie trial presentation. The basic deal we've done is that we'll prevent all their drug and alcohol, gang self-harm and all that sort of stuff, training to staff and pupils for free, in return for them networking us and helping us keyword the target in with the presentations, so we can hit certain funding streams which will allow the schools to be able to pay us for doing it. Because it's one of them weird ones. If you go in and say, right, I'm going to do a presentation on, say, weed, and they'll go, we haven't got the budget. But if you say, well, I'm going to do a presentation on weed and mental health, oh, we've got the budget for that because we've got a budget for mental health. And so it's about knowing how you angle these things to get them through the door. Really, I've not got fuck all. You know what? It's been a gorgeous day today, and I was actually going to try and get out on the bike, but I ended up stuck down fucking here again. So I may just try and get out on the bike tomorrow, if you don't kill me doing it. Really, really busy. Had an upheaval with the military stuff. About 2 years ago, military approached us and said, we need you all to have your Petals 3. Petals was a low-end teaching qualification. Now that's been superseded with, I think it's called ETA now, but it's another low-end teaching award. So I'd done my Petal 3, done the workbook, done the course, but never set the assessment, because when I handed it all in, the military went, oh, no, we don't need it now, you're all right. They've now turned around and said, you do. The course doesn't exist anymore, so I've had to try, and I'm having to redo the course, but this time the ETA course, and I sort of need it quick. It's a 50 to 60 hour course, and I've got to try and get it done in 2 weeks, so it's going to be a push. But the company I've gone with have indicated that they may accept some of my old coursework. The other thing, you have to do a mini teach, they call it. It's a 15 to 20 minute presentation on some subjects regarding just teaching. But they allow you to be assessed remotely, to be assessed by anybody. So I've got a mate who's a teacher, and he can assess me for that, which really helps not fucking things about. So hopefully I can get this squeezed in time for this deadline that the military's dumped on me. It'll be a pain in the ass if I can't, because it means I can't do any more presentations till it's done. But if I can get it done, it's going to be a result. It won't obviously do any harm going into the schools either with it. But and that is really it, guys. There's otherwise fuck all going on. It's all really mundane, boring shit. It really is at the moment. Lots and lots of client stuff. Had a lot of financial messes just recently, so I've binned a lot. They're now being replaced. But yeah, it's just been a really boring, head down, slog along week. Not really much else to report. Oh, there was something though. Probably most of you who've been following me for a while will have heard my brain drug stuff. Well, steroid brain stuff. Well, I came across a research just recently suggesting that EPO had a very good neuroprotective quality in the brain when somebody was using steroids. But I can't find really any more on it, but I'm going to dig into that a bit more, and if I can get enough to make a video, I will do a video about it, because I haven't really talked about that shit for quite a while, for the simple reason, I've sort of done it to death. And most the new stuff goes on to Brutal Muscle. I mean, they pay me to contribute to the site, so obviously I've got to sort of prioritise them as a customer. The podcast is still going well. Released episode on Wednesday with Luke Sandow, which was really good. And it was nice because we talked about stuff that I don't think... Well, he actually said he'd never even talked about it before. We talked about what is now regarded as the Chicago incident, where he ended up in hospital, and his thought process after that. Did he feel like quitting? Did he think maybe he wasn't good enough for what he was doing and all this sort of stuff? And it turned out that was quite a catalyst, among some other things, for him to really change his approach to things. And strangely enough, I mean, me and Luke have only really started to get to talk over the last 3 or 4 months because of the involvement with Brutal Muscle. He's independently come around to a completely, almost identical thought process as me. And we're very much in sync now with our thoughts on drugs, and particularly on certain drugs like growth hormone and insulin, and on training and approaches to it and all this lot. So that was actually quite interesting. It was quite surprising how he'd come to that position and how I got to that position previously. Oh yeah, I don't know if I've... Anyway, sorry. Well, I was going to say I don't know if I can even talk about this, but I've already talked about it on drugs and stuff, so I suppose it makes no fucking difference now. Long story short, Bodypower and myself have been in discussion about me potentially doing some presentations at Bodypower on steroids in the UK. So apparently Bodypower's changed its layout quite a lot this year, and there's a bit of a health harm reduction type area. And I think the stands in there are going to be stuff like Medichecks. I know Youth Revisit is going down as well, so I'll have to split myself between those two. So I think there's definitely, within that area, there's going to be a lot more focus on health and well-being and that sort of stuff. Now, I'm not sure if they're having the main stage talks as they usually do, or if they're going to have a mini stage in that area, but we've been in discussion about doing some talks on steroids. If they go ahead with it, it would be quite a milestone, because it would be the first, really, as far as I'm aware, apart from the Strongman in Northwest Strength show a couple of years ago, or last year was it? Can't even bloody remember. It's never really been done. So for somebody the size of Bodypower to do it, that's quite a bold step forward actually. They've quite surprised me that they're willing to do it. So anyway, the person I'm speaking to was on holiday I believe last week, so we should be talking again this week, and hopefully that should move things forward. The one thing I have said to him though, that is, if I do it, I want the presentation vetting by them before it goes, I actually perform it. Because what I don't want to do is say what I want to say and then them suddenly turn around and go, well, that's not what we expected, and blah, blah, blah. If they vet it, then they cannot come back to me afterwards if they've had a lot of complaints, or it's ruffle feathers and say, that's not what we asked for. So I think that's really the best move with it. Apart from that, that is pretty much it. So a bit of a jumbled, garbled bits and bats there. Oh fuck, I've got to go to a dentist on Monday. I fucking hate dentists. And it's not even like a pain fear thing, I just don't like people putting their fucking hands in my mouth. Pisses me off. Well, that's going to be a pleasant start to fucking Monday, innit? That's next week probably fucked as well. Right, anyway, enough of my bollocks. I will get off, get this uploaded, guys. Catch you all soon. Take care. Look after yourselves, and don't forget to catch us out on catch up with us on Drugs and Stuff off of Devices Radios, and obviously online on Brutal Muscle. All right, take care, and I'll speak to you soon.